what does AMIRÁ mean? At the start, I used to want feedback from people, go to people, can you please review my product and tell me what you think?
All our AMIRÁ products for free. She comes into our office and she's like, so what's new? Hand them over. What's behind you? I see something. That looks unique. Can you show me?
So how big is your team now? Because you said at the start you started off with 5 to 6 members, right?
Yeah, only.
I checked out your place recently and I think it's really good.
Thank you.
I like one of the shirts which is in my mind. I'm going to go and buy that. What's been the toughest challenge you've faced with AMIRÁ?
And I love my team. They're honest, they're loyal, they're my family.
Not just a boss sitting there and just asking for numbers.
No, my father is. Almost like a tailor, you know, I was standing there, like, Mom, sit down. I'm like, no, I don't need to sit. Just cut the fabric in front of me, you know? I want to see how you make the patterns, you know?
Biggest risk you've taken with AMIRÁ? Welcome back to Ask a Startup, a podcast where we dive into the journeys of entrepreneurs, creators, and artists. I'm your host, Adil. In today's episode, we have someone who has built the fastest growing fashion brands in Bangladesh, blended with Eastern heritage and modern fashion. The founder of AMIRÁ, Zainab Maqsood. Thank you so much for joining me today, Zainab.
Thank you so much, Adil, for having me. Super excited to share more about AMIRÁ with you guys.
Everyone, I think, wants to know the story behind AMIRÁ. How did it originate? Where did the idea for AMIRÁ come from?
So I feel like I've always loved fashion from a very young age. And my father having a garment factory was like a bonus for me. I used to get free clothes. I used to experiment with like, different type of styles. And then also we never had any uniforms in school. So I was pretty lucky because I was able to experiment things, what I wanted to wear at school as well. So yeah, I've always loved fashion. And as soon as I graduated from university, I came back to Bangladesh and I felt like there was a huge demand for Pakistani Indian products. But I've always been curious, why can't we create these products in Bangladesh? So yeah, I was like, it's a perfect time to launch a brand in Bangladesh. So yeah, and that's how I've created AMIRÁ.
That's great. The first question that came up in my mind is that, which school did you go to?
So in Bangladesh, I went to AISD, American International School, Dhaka. And in London, I went for undergrad at Coventry University, but London campus. Yeah, I wanted to do fashion in Coventry University, but unfortunately, I was a very sporty girl. So I was in my senior year in Nepal doing a tournament for basketball, and I broke my dominant hand, the right hand, and unfortunately I couldn't finish my portfolio for fashion, the fashion portfolio I have to create. But yeah, and I ended up doing global business management, but that was very helpful as well for AMIRÁ.
Oh, nice. So that means as soon as you were done with university, you came to Bangladesh, and that's when you started. So that was it back in 2019 or 2020?
2019. So I graduated in 2019. I got back to Dhaka over summers, and yeah, I just started working on AMIRÁ from there on. But then we all faced COVID, so that was pretty crazy for me as an entrepreneur because it's already very hard, starting off a new project. And when you have to face something like a pandemic and the whole world is shut down, and I had to, keep my team working from home, that was very difficult to manage because, again, I was so young. I didn't know what to expect, and not having them there, I didn't know what they were doing, what they were, providing me with. It was very difficult to communicate. Yeah.
So that means in a way it was also beneficial that COVID, everything was shut because you got the time to spend on it completely. Would you say that? Or were you still spending a lot of time into your AMIRÁ even before COVID?
I think because 2019, the world wasn't like shutting down. Like 2020 was when, everyone was, I don't know, was it 2019? I think I might be getting this wrong. The timeline has been so long. But I feel like it was difficult because, say, like entire factory was closed, but I was in the office by myself doing things, and I gave like my team members. So I only had a few members back then, only, let's say, 6 to 7 people who were working for AMIRÁ at that moment. And so when I gave them their duties, I felt like they weren't really giving their best, because starting off, I was standing near them and looking through everything they were doing. But, because there was a lockdown, I wasn't able to do that. I had to guide them because because it was such an initial stage. I had to tell them my vision. I had to share my creativity concepts with them because they were just bringing out things from their past, job. So I didn't want that. I wanted a little touch of AMIRÁ from my mind, from my creativity. So yeah.
Oh, the reason why I was asking is that because in 2020 is when I started my podcast,
Oh.
and that's when I actually got the time to think because obviously everything was shut. So which is why I was home. And I was like, I want to do something. So I think without the world being shut, it was difficult for me to focus on something. I was always on the move.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. Was it helpful in any sort of ways? But I guess no.
Because I needed to, talk to suppliers,
Yeah.
and everything was just so closed. Everyone was so confused. What was happening? When was, everything going to go back to normal? So it was very difficult for me. I
Yeah.
had to go travel, look for fabrication, look for the raw materials, starting from even the hangers that we use at the stores. I had to source all of those things, so I couldn't even visit the suppliers. I couldn't really tell the qualities, and how the online sector is in Bangladesh. You can't really trust it, so not everything could be delivered to you, right away. Those were like a lot of issues that I faced during the pandemic. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that
Lockdown.
makes sense because obviously there's so much that goes behind the scene that we
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
Which is why, to me, a podcast obviously is something I did by myself.
Yeah,
That's
awesome.
obviously I could spend that time alone, and I felt like, oh, it's beneficial for me. But for other businesses like yours, clearly that was not good enough, right?
Yeah.
So that brings me to the next question: what does AMIRÁ mean?
So AMIRÁ means princess in Arabic, and it has royalty connotations to it. And the reason I kept this name was that because it has royalty connotation, I wanted people to feel confident, to feel elegant, and to feel superior. So this is just if you know that, okay, this is the meaning behind it, and I'm wearing this brand, I'm gonna feel those expressions. I'm gonna feel those attributes, I would say.
Right now, as we know, it's a household name, right?
Yeah.
And you've got quite a lot of outlets out there, right? How many do you have now?
At the moment, we have 6 outlets and one website. So we are also selling online, but only for Bangladesh at the moment. We have had people reach out to us saying, can you deliver to the US? Can you deliver to London? But unfortunately, not yet.
But is that something you're planning for the
Oh,
future?
definitely, yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
that'd be cool. I think
Yeah.
because in the UK, I don't know where to go for Punjabi exactly.
Right, right.
So, which is why if AMIRÁ is there, then obviously it would be easier for me. So, how big is your team now? Because you said at the start you started off with 5 to 6 members, right?
Yeah, only.
And now it's massive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Because I was just starting off, I had a few designers when I was starting off, and obviously an operational head who was helping us look for stores, and also like help us create visibility reports if we were looking into certain locations and how we could, have a break even. We are now almost around close to 300. We're around 280, 290 people.
Wow.
Team. It's
That's
like,
very impressive.
yeah. Mashallah, I'm like very happy and proud that our team's growing so fast. Yeah, and
Yeah.
we're still adding more people in the production line. There's great demand now. I feel like we've created a brand name. People know and trust us. They know the quality. They know what to expect from AMIRÁ now. So yeah.
I checked out your place recently and I think it's really good.
Thank you.
I like one of the shirts, which is in my mind. I'm going to go and buy that, the
Yes,
red one.
please do.
I mean, it's a very unique style that you have because you
Uh-huh.
blended different kind of designs, right?
Right, yeah.
So could you tell us more about your designs? How did you come up with that?
So I'm not the one designing everything. I definitely have a team, but I guide my team. So I would say I'm the creative director and the managing director of everything.
Yeah.
My design team is divided into different segments. There is a textile print designer. They're the ones who I tell them, okay, now we have to look into all the mood boards, what kind of trends are coming in globally, but also what we think is going to be big in Southeast Asia region, like in India, Pakistan, and also in Bangladesh. And so they helped me create mood boards, and then we combine 2 or 3 different styles of prints, and then we create our own unique prints through those combinations. So yeah, it's super cool and interesting. And then so the other segments include like embroidery. So we have people who are technically knowledgeable and experienced in how they punch on the embroidery details on the garment. There's lots of technical details I didn't even know, so I learned a lot, through the whole starting stage, and even now I learn a lot. And then we have the catting department. So all our print, we don't just take prints off from the internet, not from Pinterest or Shutterstock. We actually have a catting department, which is basically graphic designers who sketch out all the motives. So we really emphasize on the details of the print, and then we get to add our own textures into the print. You won't believe the things you can do on Photoshop. I did have a lesson in school, but I'm not really good in Photoshop. I'm trying to learn. But yeah, like you could add like watercolor effects. You could add, almost like a furry effect. It's so cool the things you can do on Photoshop with just normal basic prints. You can add so much texture just through print. So it's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even that, is that AMIRÁ that you're wearing?
Yes. Yeah. This whole entire outfit is from AMIRÁ. I'm
That's
not
pretty
AMIRÁ.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, this entire outfit is from AMIRÁ. We're working on a lot of like fusion collection, a lot of like modern, something, you could wear in Bangladesh, but also abroad. So yeah, we're looking into a lot of those type of styles.
No, I really love the idea. I mean, I love the fusion, and clearly, I mean, it's attractive. Yeah.
And I would also like to add, like, fabrication also plays a big role. We know that we're serving to customers in Bangladesh. We have to know what kind of weather we have to work with, because we know majority of the time Bangladesh is very hot and humid.
Yeah,
So we
absolutely.
want to work with fabrication that's lightweight. So right now, the trousers I have on seem like it's very heavy. It's denim, but it's not. It's chambray, so it's a lighter weight. Almost like a denim texture fabric. So it's a lot more lighter, more comfortable, and it's nice. So we always pay attention to the fabrication we're working with. We know that okay, Bangladesh's weather is in a certain way. We want customers to feel good, feel comfortable, but also look attractive.
Yeah, no, I mean, that actually looks like denim. I thought jeans
Yeah,
or
and it's
something
so
like.
light. It's not like denim at all. So super
Wow.
comfortable. Yeah.
No, I think this is a brilliant idea. The idea that you came up with, because design-wise, even comfort-wise, climate-wise,
Yeah.
you're quite
Exactly.
mindful about everything.
Exactly. Yeah.
Customer-centric approach. Brilliant.
Thank you.
So, how many AMIRÁ products have you sold so far?
Yeah, I think I wouldn't be able to give you a number.
Yeah.
I would have to pull that out. But quite a lot, I would say. We're doing quite well. It's amazing. It's an overwhelming feeling that AMIRÁ is growing so fast, and people are talking about AMIRÁ and positive things, and that's just always great. So yeah, I feel like once you've hit a certain amount of customers, like the word of mouth kind of spreads your name, and yeah, just we're doing well. So it depends also like on the style as well. So what sells? Sometimes something sells great and I have to restock it, and sometimes it's not that great. It's not a big hit, so I have to see and figure out, okay, why didn't customers like this? Is it the pattern? Is it the fitting? Is it the size? Is it the print, the embroidery? What could it be? So yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of good words from your customers, how many positive reviews have you got so far?
Oh, so many. And I feel like I love like adding customers even to my private account. A lot of people follow AMIRÁ's page, but then they get to know that, oh, she's the owner, and then they start sending me requests. And then when I follow them back, they follow me. They send me like messages as well, like, wow, you're doing so great. So not just through AMIRÁ's page, we're getting so many, I'm getting so many responses on my own personal page. And it's amazing. Like, I feel like if you're having a bad day and someone messages like, "Oh, you're doing so amazing. I love AMIRÁ. 80% of my closet is filled with AMIRÁ." Like, these are the kind of comments
Mm-hmm.
we're receiving. And something super sweet, I think it happens in Bangladesh. I don't know. I haven't worked in any other place, but a lot of customers who purchase our product, they're so happy to share it with us. They either when they're at the store with their shopping bags, they send us pictures. They take pictures with our staff in the
Mm-hmm.
stores, or if they're buying online, they wear it and then they share pictures with us. And that's something that AMIRÁ is doing. Like my team and I, my marketing team and I, we do client diaries basically. So during big seasons like Eid, we have a lot of customers who purchase from AMIRÁ, and so we ask them to share how they style AMIRÁ and become one of our influencers, become our models. So then after we receive a whole bunch of pictures, we try to share as many as possible on our page at AMIRÁ.apparel. So yeah, and they love that. They really do. They feel like, oh wow, we're like really part of AMIRÁ. It's not that we're just sending in pictures and nothing's happening with it. So yeah.
Wow, that's a very cool thing you do. I think, yeah, I mean, I would appreciate that if that happened to me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so now that we spoke about the positive side,
Mhm.
I mean, I want to know the challenges in terms of let's start off with the customer complaints because
Mhm.
obviously they give good reviews.
Mhm.
Have you faced any negative reviews?
Oh yeah, of course. I think. I mean, I'm not gonna lie that um, you can't make everything perfect.
Yeah.
And I feel like usually it's a misunderstanding, or they're not really sure how to take care of the product,
Mhm.
and that results in something negative, or their dresses being ruined. I think unfortunately, because fortunate and unfortunately, in Bangladesh we kind of are a little careless because we have helpers at home,
Mhm.
at work. So you just hand over your things and then they end up doing things to the garment that kind of damages the
Mhm.
garment in a lot of ways. So it's very important for customers to know how to take care of their product in order to get the best result for a very long time. So the negative reviews are usually when they wash a garment and maybe they say, "Oh, this is bleeding. The colors are there's an issue with the color, or oh no, it's tearing. Or like, oh, the fabric is ruined." So there's a lot of those comments, but we try to accommodate to all of those. We listen to our customers. We also try to figure out, is it our fault, or where have we gone wrong? How to fix these issues for the future? But yeah, we also always support our customers, even though our exchange policy is within 7 days. We are able to exchange and it has to be unworn, but
Mhm.
sometimes we've received products that were unworn. Sorry, they were worn, and we still took them back and we said, you know what, since we are just starting off, we want to respect our customer. We will take that garment back and we will do tests on it and see how we can improve in the future. But yeah, those are just a few things we're working on, but let's see.
I think, yeah, I mean, that's amazing how you always take everything as a feedback
Mhm.
because that's something I think every business needs to do if they want to grow, right? Have you thought about how you could maybe create content based on how people are not
Oh
understanding these
yes.
things?
Yeah. I mean, my team and I talk about so many contents that we have to create that we
Yeah.
just never get
Mhm.
time to, work on it. But yeah, definitely, I've had discussions with my team saying, okay, we need like influencers who could talk about how to take care of our product. But
Mhm.
usually, when we know there's a sensitive fabric, or we know like, okay, this fabric needs to be taken care in a certain way,
Mhm.
we our quality in charge always informs all the managers. So we have loads of group chats on WhatsApp, so many. And they like to share with one another, okay, this is how it's going, like this is how it's supposed to be taken care of, please make sure you inform the customers. And then we also share the product images on WhatsApp, so just in case they don't miss out. Yeah, so we're definitely working on it, trying our best to improve. And yeah.
We also have a responsibility to look into the instructions inside, right? Because it
Yeah.
usually has
Yeah.
instructions on it.
Yeah.
Because I'll make a confession.
Yeah.
I think it's not been that long that I got to learn about these things. Because back then, I think I never washed my clothes.
Yeah.
Now that you're living in the UK
Yeah.
and you have your own life,
Yeah.
when I've screwed up my clothes,
And then you're
and
like,
then I'm like, what happened? Once what happened? I
Yeah.
put my wife's trainers in the washing machine. I had no clue what option to pick. I just went for a wash and that's it. And then it shrunk.
oh,
And then
yeah.
after that, I was like, oh boy.
I faced a similar issue when I was in London because there was no one there to help me.
Yeah.
So I think I mixed all the colors together, just put it in the washing machine, and everything turned out like purple. Like all the white clothes were purple, and I was like, no, I ruined everything. But then you learn, because if you have to do it yourself, then you have to learn. You have to take care of your product. I think honesty is like a major role here. Like you have to be
Absolutely.
honest,
Mhm.
Is it really our fault or is it the customer's fault? I think that's where the game is tricky.
Yeah.
You can't ever say customer is wrong, right?
No, yeah, I know.
But I tell my team they can be wrong, because they're like, ma'am, no, we've always been taught customers is always right. And I'm like, yes, yeah, I 100% agree. But they can be wrong. We don't tell them that they're wrong, but they can be.
Yeah, I think, yeah, it's totally to do with accountability, right?
Yeah.
I mean, because for example, like me, I just confess that on the video right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
But most people would not really acknowledge that or take accountability for that.
Right, yeah.
So if they do that, then that's it. It gets easier.
Yeah.
Oh boy, yeah, it was my mistake.
Yeah.
Damn. But what happens usually is that you bought that, so you spend money.
Yeah.
So you want to go just blame it on the
Someone else, yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, nope, it's not us.
So yeah, I think everyone should take accountability.
Yes,
I mean, I think
please.
we need to self-educate ourselves.
Yeah.
It's to do with all of us. I
Yeah.
think everyone needs to do that. Educate
But,
yourself. And,
honestly, I appreciate feedbacks.
Yeah.
Like, I'm always asking people, like, can you give me feedback? And usually they're really nice ones. Oh, no, it's amazing. I had such a the best experience ever. But I really appreciate feedback. There is this one restaurant that I went to, and they're always asking for feedback. Like, as soon as you start eating, they're asking for feedback. Towards the end, they're asking for feedback. When you're heading out of the restaurant, they're asking feedback. And I love that. I love that. I don't know if for some people, maybe it's like, okay, too much. You've asked too much of feedback. I've given you my feedback. But for me, it's like, no, they're really interested to know, if everything was perfect or not, if everything was good or not. And will the customers be coming back, to their restaurant? So I always had that in the back of my mind. I'm like, how do I keep asking for feedback from my customers? I've also tried to look into that, but there's just so many things I have to juggle with. I feel like I don't, now that we're talking about this, I'm like, oh my gosh, we missed out on this. I was supposed to do this in the store.
Yeah.
But yeah, just there's so many things that's happening, and I have to deal with and manage. And yeah, I feel like I leave out on certain things. So yeah, I have to make like a priority list, I feel like.
yeah, definitely.
After today's discussion, I'm going to go back and I'll be like, okay, list, prioritize everything.
And I think, the feedback wise, what you said, as a startup founder myself, I appreciate it too.
Yeah.
Whenever someone gives me feedback, I'm like, oh yeah, I need to take note of everything.
Yes.
And it's like free feedback, right?
Yeah.
Because sometimes at the start, I used to want feedback from people, go to people, can you please review my product and tell me what you think?
Yeah. And don't feel bad. Give me
Exactly.
the feedback. Don't
Be
feel bad.
honest.
Don't say sorry.
Exactly.
Sorry, I don't want to hurt your feelings. No, don't. You're not hurting my feelings. You're actually helping me, And yeah, I really appreciate feedback. I really do. Even just last night, I was at a friend's wedding and someone was giving me a feedback and I was just on my phone. I was like, yes, I'm a bridesmaid. I'm helping you. Wait 1 second. Looking on my phone, checking on the feedback, and it was very valuable feedback. And I'm like, oh my God, yes, I didn't realize I was doing that. Thank you so much for sharing that feedback. And I'm going to work on it. You're right. So yeah, I think one of the difficult things about like having a ready-to-wear brand is that there's just so many different sizes and shapes and heights that you have to be able to create a piece that could work for everyone. Obviously, the bigger your brand grows, the more collections you can launch. Like even for denim, I don't know, in the UK it's quite big, the retail industry, and I've been to Mark and Spencer and they have like a tall section, they have petite, so the same design but in different body types, right? And I really do want to look into this for Bangladesh because there are a lot of tall people and then there are short people.
Absolutely.
So but I have to grow a little more because I can't be creating just a petite collection, and what if it doesn't sell,
Yeah.
So yeah, it takes time, but I have that in my mind. I definitely want to look into it. So yeah.
Nice. Well, I think there's always going to be challenges, and as soon as you overcome them, that also helps you gain new customers.
Right.
So yeah, what you're doing is great, I think. So that brings me to another question regarding challenges. What's been the toughest challenge you've faced with AMIRÁ so far?
So many. Where do I begin? I think initially, like building or hiring the right people was
Yeah.
a big challenge for me. I don't know if I should say this, but like I've people like the team I've hired in the initial stage, they have lied to me, and it's very like sad that you're starting off and they can see that, oh, she's young, she's vulnerable, she's naive, like she doesn't know much about this like industry. So yeah, we'll take that as an advantage, and you know it's sad. It's really sad, and I was very hurt by that, because you're putting all this passion, you're putting all this hard work into, building this brand, or even from the starting stage. And then, but I was also fortunate enough to find this out. There's people like who never know what has happened behind their back. But I was lucky enough where someone has actually came to me and they said, ma'am, actually, we bought this software. I'm going to give you an example. And it was only costing us 25,000 taka, but amongst like 3-4 peers, we told you it was going to cost 50,000. We made a bill for 50,000. You signed it, you approved it. The rest 25 was split amongst them. So I was very hurtful, like, to hear that, So yeah, hiring a very good, strong, honest team and a loyal team, because I had team members, employees who I've trained and taught a lot of things. There was a designer, young designer, who didn't even know a lot of those like print terms like paisley, floral. I mean, floral, everyone knows floral. But, there's certain floral terms that you have to know. If I'm saying I need this certain like hibiscus flower, and then we're like, what is that? That's like the, if you want the summer theme, you want to bring out those, or so he didn't know a lot of those terms, and I had to tell him all these, like from the beginning. I have to teach him, show him, and then he runs away because he learns everything, and he's like, I have a 50,000 taka job now. If you can afford that, then I'll come back. So it's like, it's really hurtful. I think that's the biggest challenge I've faced, like how to manage my team, how to know that they're being honest or not, with me. So yeah, I think I would say that was the biggest challenge for me. But then also like balancing my like personal life and then work life would be a huge challenge. Starting off, I feel like you just want to sleep, eat, do everything in your office room. You want to do everything there. But yeah, I sometimes come home at 10 p.m. and my parents are like, what's happening? Don't you want dinner? And like, don't you want to come home? Don't you want to sleep? Don't you want to spend time with us? And I'm like, I have so much to do, And for me, I don't know why. Like after the entire office like becomes empty, I like focus, and I'm like doing all this like back end research so that like the next morning I can like share more ideas, and everyone's just like, and I love that. I love the feeling that my team goes, wow, ma'am, you have such great ideas. And it's just because I'm overnight working on like, doing research, creating those like ideas. And yeah, so.
Wow. Sleepless nights then.
Yeah. But I love it. Like, even when I'm in bed, I'm just like scrolling through Instagram, like, okay, what could be our next like content that we could create? What kind of like trends are happening online regarding contents, for AMIRÁ's reels. So yeah, I'm always doing research, or photo shoots. We always need mood boards for photo shoots as well. And I'm directing and styling. So everyone asks like our marketing team or the photographer, so who's doing AMIRÁ styling? And they're like, oh, it's just all done by one person, the owner. And they're all kind of like shocked by that as well, because a lot of people hire, like there's a stylist, there's a choreographer, there's, and I'm doing all of that.
I mean, it clearly shows that you are so passionate. You love what you do, right?
Yeah. Super hands-on.
Yeah.
To everything.
I understand that you love it so much that you're spending so much time with it. But do you feel at any point that it's affecting your health in any way? Would you say that?
I think I'm still young, so I don't feel it. Growing a few gray hair. But other than that, I would say no, I love it. I feel like real life problems are too much to handle. So just focus at work. Just focus on building something that you really love and you're passionate about, you know?
Hmm.
I've just put in so much effort into this brand that I want to keep giving more and more and more, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm having so much fun. So and I love my team, you know, the team I have right now. I can tell like they're honest, they're loyal. And yeah, I just feel like they're my family.
No,
And I want to
absolutely.
prove them, you know, like,
Hmm.
you know, we can do really, really good. And we can achieve a lot. And I still feel like there's so much more for us to achieve. So yeah, whenever they get excited, like, ma'am, we just hit the biggest like sale record ever for AMIRÁ. And I'm like, not good enough. Need to be better. But also like, yes, that's like, you know, celebrate, but also, you know, no, still not good enough. Yes, it's good that we beat the record, but need to be better than that. And I believe, yeah, we can. So that's why I'm so harsh on them as well. Like, no, we can still do better.
Would you tell me about one mistake that you made early on that helped in your journey?
So I was very fortunate that my father was financially investing
Mm.
in this project. So if it was all done by myself, my own savings, or through loan, I would be struggling right now. But I think it's like I wouldn't blame my father for this, but I would say it's like our mistakes, like both him and I, like
Mhm.
we invested in some machineries. We're like, oh, we're starting off a brand. We need this machineries, and obviously, big machines cost a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I feel like without having any knowledge on how we can use this machine, is it or how much would AMIRÁ be able to fill up its capacity, the
Mhm.
machine's capacity, or not, and also like who do we need to hire in order to make sure that this machine doesn't like get damaged, or you know, we wouldn't have to invest a lot more in the future on this machine. So I'm talking about the digital machine. No, it's yeah, you're like, what is she talking about? What machine? A sewing machine? No, a digital machine that's for it's almost like a paper printing machine but for
Yeah.
fabric. It's so cool. The first time I saw it, I'm like, wow, it's amazing. And it's always so cool to have like new machineries you know, added to your factory. But again, there's a risk factor. Do you know how to use it? Do you know the pros and cons of the, you know, machines? I think that I wish that we had outsourced some of the work in the initial stages, just so that we had an idea of, okay, how does this machine work? How do we take care of this machine? You know, just like a garment, you had to take care of your machines. So there was a huge investment. I feel like that is being a little tough on us.
Mhm.
Like we, I guess, didn't hire the right people. They weren't able to take care of because that machine, you have to keep it in a certain temperature. So you have to have the AC on 24/7.
Wow.
It's a lot of costs, you know,
Mm.
behind it. The ink that you're using, that also has to be under a certain temperature. So the heads, you call it, the printing head,
Yeah.
where the inks come out through, those are very sensitive. So if you don't take care of them properly, they get damaged and then they cost a lot of money. A lot of money. So we've had to replace a couple. More than a couple. So yeah, I guess. And then there was another machine that we bought, like an embroidery machine. I feel like I called in the embroidery in charge, and I asked him, so like, what do you think we should get? Like, what new feature should we add into the embroidery machine? We have the simple basic ones, but I wanna buy something that's different. And he goes, ma'am, okay, get this and this and this. So we had this, like, he gave me a whole list of, like, this is what we need. And it'll be so cool because it'll be a value addition to all the products that you're
Mhm.
creating for Mira. And I'm like, okay, awesome. I have this machine and it costed me so much because there's so many features on it. The more features, the more expensive it gets, right?
Mhm.
And we're not even utilizing it properly. He goes, ma'am, I don't know how to work this, you know, software. You need a separate software for this. You need, I don't know why the beads are not coming. So there's beads on it. There's like pearls, you know, sequins. And then it's called Ari work. It's like almost a different type of thicker thread type of detail. So yeah, we're only using the sequins and just the plain. So it sucks. Like it's hurtful. Like you have this machine, but we're not able to utilize it properly. So I just
Mhm.
wish there was someone, you know, who could have guided me like, no, hold up. First, test it out, outsource the work, know how it works, and then invest in it. So I would say those are like some of the big mistakes I've made initial on. And like now I know that, okay, before investing, I'm going to see what's available in the market or go visit a market that has this certain machine and then do good research, proper research on it, and then invest on it. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Research is always the best way to go at, right?
Yeah.
So tell me something about running a fashion brand that nobody talks about.
There's a lot of work behind running a fashion brand, such as like, it's not just designing clothes. You have to also look into the interior of your stores. You have to look for stores. You have to negotiate prices with, suppliers, vendors, landowners. There's just so much, like so many logistics. Like you have to look into the finance. When are you going to break even? Feasibility reports for each stores, and then each store has its own targets. Are they filling up their targets or not? Who's weak? You have to train your staff, the sales aspect, the marketing of like how you present your brand online and, throughout the city. You could have billboards, come on the TV. So there's so much behind, running a brand that I feel like people kind of overlook. They're like, it's just designing clothes and that's it. Opening a store, that's it. No, but there's so much,
Yeah, I mean, for some people it might seem like that. For some people it might look like, oh, it's so glamorous. It's just, fancy
Oh,
and
yeah,
she's
yeah.
just going to the office and coming, oh, how's everything going on? Good sales? Good design? Brilliant. That's it.
No,
No.
not at all. And I love going to like for example, I visit Sadrgut a lot. That's Islampur, almost old Dhaka. That's where you find a lot of different fabrication. Some are imported, some are locally sourced in Bangladesh. There's people who have their own textiles and they're making fabrics for Islampur. So I go there with my team and they're like, "Ma'am, but you're the boss. You don't travel to these places." And I'm like, "Why not?" And they're like, "No, because just tell us and we'll bring it for you." And I'm like, "No, I want to learn. I want to see what's available. I love fashion and I want to be part of it. I don't want just to tell people like, okay, go get me this. No, do this. Because what if they don't understand what I want? There's just so much out there. And because I'm fortunate enough to travel so many places, around the world, I have seen so much that I have a different like mindset and perspective on things that I feel like my team now has a hard time capturing and understanding. So I really like to physically be there, even when I'm purchasing just like a button, like it's important for me to be there physically and see, okay, what's available, what's new, or maybe sometimes, the supplier, he won't take out anything. You have to tell them, oh, what's behind you? I see something that looks unique. Can you show me? And then, because they don't, if you tell them, okay, I need this, you have your list on, they'll bring it out. But you have to physically visit to see something new, to find something new. So yeah.
Absolutely. I think that's the reason why AMIRÁ is going ahead, because you're quite involved in pretty much everything you want to understand, you want to know.
Yeah.
So which is why I think design-wise, material-wise, like customer-wise, it seems like, yeah, you know pretty much what's happening in your company.
Yeah.
You're not just a boss sitting there and just asking for numbers.
No.
Right? So yeah.
My father is.
Yeah. So Zainab, obviously, as a young entrepreneur, we have our own challenges. How do you take it when people don't take you seriously as a young entrepreneur? Do you face those things at all?
Initially, I had that fear. I was like, I'm so young. Everyone I was hiring was much older than me. So I believe that it's action speaks louder than words. And in that, what I mean by that is that I was really involved throughout the whole process, as I mentioned earlier, and it was my knowledge and my dedication towards what I wanted to create to reach my vision that I think everyone understood. Okay, no, she's really serious. Like she wants to achieve goals. Like she just doesn't want one store, two store. That's not like regarding what she's trying to create. It's not something like, oh no, we'll just slack off here. It's okay. No, like I was when I had my first patent masters, when I hired them, it was almost like a tailor. I was standing there like, "Ma'am, sit down." And I'm like, "No, I don't need to sit. Just cut the fabric in front of me. I want to see how you make the patterns. So I was there in every step. Like my designers, I stood right next to them. I was looking at every detail they were working on. No, move this design. Nope. Make a thicker line here. So I was there the entire process.
Yeah.
So they really saw, okay, no, she's really putting a lot of effort in this. And if you put in a lot of work, it's going to show.
Absolutely.
Your sales gonna grow, your customers are gonna respond to it. And I think everyone kind of understood, no, AMIRÁ is growing, AMIRÁ is making money. Our accountant is selling our, like my father, no, she's doing great. She knows what she's doing, So yeah. So I think it wasn't that difficult if you put in that hard work. When people can say that, okay, she's bringing the knowledge. She doesn't have experience, but she's bringing the knowledge. And, honestly, regarding experience, I don't have the job experience, but I have the customer experience. I have been a customer my entire life, right?
Absolutely.
I've been traveling globally. I've been visiting lots of stores, Zara, H&M. There's so many brands, all over the world. Some really cool ones that you just find out, like in Thailand or, cool places. And so I know, okay, what kind of customer experience and service to expect, and that's what I need to train my team with, like, this is how you're supposed to behave. Well, I went to this store and there was this one customer girl, like service girl, and she was so good. Like she was pulling out clothes for me and she's like, "Ma'am, take this. Ma'am, this is going to look so good on you." And I liked every piece. And I was like, "Okay, give it to me." Just keep giving it to me. So I was like, this is how you should be. Or like, okay, this is how they did the visual merchandising in their stores. So you should be doing something similar because it really looked great, So as a customer, I've had experience. I know what to expect. I know the pain that customers feel when they're going shopping for clothes. So I feel like I could add that knowledge into what I was doing. So yeah.
I love that. I think that is one of the best things you said, because that's exactly how I feel as well. Whenever I do something, I'm like, okay, let me put myself in customers' shoes.
Yeah.
Right? As soon as you become a customer, you're like, okay, this is what I want. This is what I would not want.
Yeah.
Right?
And like I wear my products, right, that I create. So I know like, okay, how long will it last? How many washes will the colors still look the same? Like it's brand new. And my mom is the biggest supporter, I would say. She wears all our AMIRÁ products for free. She comes into our office and she's like, "So what's new? Hand them over." But it's great because then she gives me the feedback. She's like, "Zainab, you know what? I think the sleeve's a little tight, the armhole's tight, or I don't know, the last dress was perfect on me, but now it's like either I've gained weight or your sizes have shrunk." So yeah, there's great feedback from there. I don't like this color. Oh, but the scarf, the orna that you've added with this 3-piece doesn't really match, the print. So stuff like that is very helpful, because if there's someone who's actually giving you, and also I like to wear them, like every sample piece I like to wear, I show my team, okay, this is how it looks on me. But again, everyone has different body figures. Maybe it's perfect on me, but it isn't perfect on someone else. So yeah.
Yeah, I think that's amazing. Yeah, you try it on yourself. That's how you find out.
If it's comfortable, not what itches, what is not right. So yeah.
Yeah, no, that's brilliant. So I think we're going towards the end.
Right.
I know there's so much to discuss, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, in this segment, I want to basically get to know you for the audience, getting to know Zainab. So what's the first thing you do when you wake up?
The first thing I do when I wake up, guilty. I look at my phone, which is not good. I don't suggest anyone to look at their phones.
Yeah.
But I don't know why. It's a bad habit, I would say. I'm always looking at my phone first to check, have I woken up late? No. Am I on time? Am I early? But I do like to go jogging. So I stay at the factory site, which is in Baluka, Maiminching, quite far. So I like to live there because it's just so hard to travel back and forth from Dhaka to Baluka.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So there's a beautiful, like, on the backside of the factory, there's a beautiful pond that my father made. And then there's like some farm animals that we have. So yeah, I'd like to jog around that pond in the mornings. But yeah, like the first thing I'll do, check my phone, which is really bad. Don't suggest. Yeah.
Yeah, me neither. But I think at times you can't help it because we're so reliant on it now. Because, like you
Yeah.
said, as soon as you wake up, the first thing you want to see is the time.
Yeah.
So it's like a clock as well, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, totally. I mean, that's not something I want to do either.
Yeah. So many books and so many like podcasts and TED Talks. They say don't be on your phone. That shouldn't be the first thing you look at, but unfortunately, it just is. You know.
Yeah, but we have to try our level best to change that.
Yeah, definitely.
So one thing people often misunderstand about you, what would that be?
I think that because my father does have a big factory, big company, big name in the market already, I feel like people think, oh, she's just a rich girl, you know, like she's just taking her daddy's little money and she's like investing on whatever, or she's just telling people to do things. But, you know, no, I've put in all the hard work. Like where AMIRÁ is now, I would say is because, you know, I've been hands-on in every step. You know, from even like I didn't just get a broker, hey, go look for me, for a store for me. No, I go to those locations and I try to look for, okay, what's the best location, what's the best position for AMIRÁ to be, you know. So I am doing everything. So I hate it when people say, oh, yeah, she's just, you know, taking her dad's money and just you know, spending it wherever, and she's just lucky that she has her dad's money. So yeah, that's really hurtful because my dad is very harsh and he puts a lot of pressure on me. A lot of people don't know that. So yeah, like the first year and the second year, it was just really tough because you're still, you know, gaining that customer trust. So people are not going to just freely walk into your store, buy like tons of clothes from you, right? They need to build that trust. So they're going to buy one product. Okay. If they like it, they'll come back again. They'll tell other people. But it takes time. And my father didn't understand that. The business he was involved in, he does exporting for big brands like Calvin. So he manufactures for Calvin Klein, Tommy Hilfiger, so many great big brands. And he's like, oh yeah, I just received bulk orders and I'm, you know, manufacturing for it. And he's making money, right?
Yeah.
But our system is completely different because you have to do everything from scratch, you know. And you don't just from the first off, you're making one design. You don't just put 5,000 pieces of one style, right?
Yeah.
It's going to take time. So he didn't understand that concept and just kept on putting pressure like, oh, you're making me a loss, you know. Yeah, I'm just investing on you for no reason. No more stores, you know. So stuff like that. But yeah, it was hard for me to kind of explain that to my father. Like, no, this is not how it works.
Yeah, no, I think it's totally different. I mean, from
Super.
what he does and you do. And that's the thing. No matter how much money you have, that doesn't mean that your business will be successful.
Yeah.
And I think I've faced that question before in one of my podcasts, or maybe I spoke to someone, because let's say you have money, but that doesn't mean that you know how to run a business.
Yeah, I agree.
And because clearly after this episode, I think people will understand how Zainab works and why is AMIRÁ where AMIRÁ is. Because you do everything that needs to be thought through while running AMIRÁ, right?
I think you always have to have the mindset of, okay, it's a startup. Whether you have the money or not, work in a budget. I take accounts of every penny. Every penny. I tell my team comes, sits down, okay, ma'am, you have to sign this bill. I'm like, what bill? What is this for? When did you buy a water? When did you buy these fruits? For like, let's say if you have a photo shoot, okay, when did you buy this? If you got them tea, where did you get it from? They're like, ma'am, it was a local store. I can't have they don't give me any bills, you know, receipts or anything. And I'm like, I don't care. You have a notebook, you have a pencil. When you're buying it, you're paying them. You write it on your notebook. I need to know every detail. Where are you spending that money? Oh, okay, we're getting stuff from, you know, Old Dhaka delivered through courier. Okay, why is it costing this much? It used to be 120. Why is it 150 now? Oh, because it's a bigger size parcel. Okay, fine. I take accounts of every little, you know, penny that I have. And they're like, but at the borloge me. And she's saying so much, you know, she's, you know, even for that 2,000 taka kano kom huise beshi huise, you know, they're always asking me or they're questioning me. But I don't know. I just think that that's very important.
Oh
If I
yeah,
slack off on those things, then my team behind my back will be doing things, you know.
yeah. It's
If
gonna
they
add
know
up.
that no, we have to answer to me, they'll be more careful.
Yeah, I mean, even earlier, like how you're mentioning that instead of 25K, they were charging you 50K.
Yeah, I guess that kind of plays back to like why I'm so, strict on where did you spend that money, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I think if you want to be successful and be sustainable in terms of having the brand out there for longer, then you have to do that. If not,
Exactly.
Amira will shut down,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Sometimes like I don't want to put out anyone here, but like sometimes like people hear, oh, okay, you got this location. Oh, the price that maybe the landowner offered, that's great offer. No, it's not. How do you know? I have to make the feasibility report. I need to break even. I need to make profits.
Hmm.
So I need to lower it down. I need to
Yeah,
lower the down the price, the rates. So yeah, I think all of this is a big factor of how you're gonna become successful. The lower your costs are in everything, from like when you're renting out stores to your raw materials to everything. It's very important, very important. I tell my team, sometimes they look at me like, wow, ma'am is fighting for like 1,000 taka, and I'm like, yes, I will be.
absolutely. I think that's the right way.
Sometimes I ask them, okay, they're like, ma'am, just give it, just 10,000 taka, and I'm like, yeah, okay, you want to give it from your pocket, go ahead, I'm okay with that, but
Hmm.
I'm not gonna give it from my pocket. So yeah, sometimes like we have those type of conversations. I'm like, because sometimes they're so like chill and calm about it, and I'm like, I'm not calm. No,
Hmm.
no.
So, next question: what's your comfort food after a stressful day?
Comfort food. Hmm. I don't know. Comfort food.
Dal
I think
bhat.
anything home cooked would be a
Yeah.
comfort food for me.
Okay.
And because I live in Paluca, we're so lucky. My dad grows so many beautiful like vegetables and fruits, and um, yeah, our chef cooks so good. Like beautiful, like it's just great food, great food. I think anything that's home
Home
cooked
cooked.
from Paluca, yummy.
Oh yeah. I think yeah, it's organic as well what you get there. So
Mm-hmm.
definitely.
So yummy.
So, are you an introvert or extrovert?
I would say both.
Well,
I would say I'm an
ambivert.
introvert because
Mm,
if it's not the right people, I
mm,
would kind of go quiet.
yeah.
And if I am trying to talk and no one tries to listen or kind of react to it, I would, kind of hold back.
Mm,
But I'm an extrovert when it's around the right people. When I when I can feel like, okay, we are able to talk, we are able to, have something in common. They're willing to listen to me. Sometimes my own brother has told me like, wow, you're always talking about your work, you have nothing else to talk about, just Amira, huh? You're so boring. And that kind of like scared me. I'm like, oh my god, am I like always talking about Amira? Like, do I not have any? But honestly, like I said, I
yeah.
sleep, eat, breathe, like it's all Amira
That's
for
your
me.
baby. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Mm,
So yeah, I guess I'm both. Yeah.
yeah. No, it makes sense.
Honestly, I'm so nervous. Like being on a podcast, I was like, oh my gosh, how am I gonna do this? But like talking to you, I feel like it's so natural, sharing these things.
Thank you
It's
so much
great.
for sharing this
Oh, of
because I think
course.
everyone would love this episode because there's
I
so
hope
much to
so.
learn from you as well.
Yeah.
So, if you were not running Amira, what do you think you'd be doing now?
I would definitely be running my father's business. Like he
Mm,
has a couple,
yeah.
and I feel like when you're young and your teacher asks you, "What do you want to do when you grow up?" Someone says a pop star. I want to be this. I want to be you know, an astronaut or something. For me, I was always like, no, I want to join the family business. Like
Hmm.
at some point, I want to do business.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to be an entrepreneur. So yeah.
So, now the next segment is the fast five. I'll be asking you 5 questions. You just have to respond in a very short answer.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
So, first one, biggest risk you've taken with Amira?
Biggest risk I've taken with Amira. Ah! I have no idea what's the biggest risk. I've taken so many risks. Like when you're an entrepreneur, you have to take risks.
Yeah.
I think it's being trusting myself
Hmm.
regards to like the amount of pieces I have to create for each product. I think that's the biggest risk I've taken. Like being able to trust myself and saying, you know what, this is it. This is how much we're gonna do, and we're gonna put it out in the store. If it sells out, it sells out. If it doesn't, we'll figure it out. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Next one. One entrepreneur you admire locally or globally?
My father. Yeah, so he came here and the way he grew himself in Bangladesh as a foreigner, it's very fascinating. So yeah, he's definitely my role model.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
his like positive like even though there could be a lot of problems in the factory, I know sorry it's fast, but
No,
a
don't
lot
worry.
of problems in the factory, like his like smile on his face and telling his employees it's okay, we'll figure it out. You know, the pandemic, a lot of factory owners were worried,
Yeah.
they're scared. There's a lot of issues that we faced in Bangladesh just recently, even in July, you know, the political issues that we saw, but father was calm, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know how he did it, and I'm, you know, the one who gets so stressed. I'm like, oh my god, how are we gonna do this? There's gas issues, you know, the energy crisis in Bangladesh, but somehow he just was so calm about everything. I don't know how he does it. We play Ludo after work
Really?
as like
Yeah.
a fun thing to relieve all our stresses, to leave everything
Yeah.
that we've discussed at work behind. Yeah.
I think that's amazing. I think that's a good way, to deal with that.
And bond.
Yeah, absolutely. Good bonding time with that. And yeah, I think that he's got good leadership skills,
Oh,
clearly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, years of experience.
8,000 to 10,000 employees is crazy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's massive.
Amazing. So he's done wonderful.
Absolutely. So, what's the weirdest customer request you've ever had?
Weirdest customer request. Because we don't do custom made things, I don't think we had any weird customer requests. But I would say like weird exchanges. Like you're like, what? How did this happen to the garment? You know, they'll send you an exchange and they're like, I've never ever imagined the product becoming like this in this condition, you
yeah.
know? And like, who ate this? A dog ate this? Like, what happened?
Yikes.
So we're not, yeah, that's the weirdest thing. But I don't think we had a lot of requests since we have everything ready to wear available in the stores. So yeah.
Fashion trend that you'd like to bring back? Is anything?
Fashion trend that I'd like to bring back? I think the fashion trends just come and go. So
Yeah.
I just follow trends. I see what the global trends are, you know, what are the top global trends. We try to follow that instead of AMIRÁ focusing on bringing something, you know, new or from the back, from old days. Yeah, I think it's, we just follow what's up in trend.
So, do you have any plans on setting the trend in the future?
Maybe, but I feel like I have to be a lot more mature. I think if you're setting trends, you have to create a more luxury, more high-end brand. So we're not going to be setting trends through AMIRÁ, but it could happen. You never know.
You never
For
know.
fast fashion, we don't know what the future holds in Bangladesh. It's very different to what the brands we see in you know, Zara or H&M. But I guess yeah, Zara has created a lot of trends as well. A lot of viral products, but again, they're taking concepts from luxury brands, right? So
Absolutely, yeah.
initially it's the luxury brands that are creating the trends.
Yeah. No. So, next and last question of this segment would be, what's your guilty pleasure after a long work day?
Guilty pleasure. I would say binge watching like a show that you don't really have to put a lot of like thought into because you just like want to relax, you know, and just not talk to anyone because you're always talking at work, you know, always telling and instructing and managing people, that I just want to be quiet and just be on my like iPad or phone and just like, or the TV, and just go on Netflix and find like a good show that I just watch and relax.
Yeah.
Don't use my mind at all.
Absolutely.
See a notification, zip, I'm just watching my show. So yeah.
That's one of the reasons why I can't watch anything new. That's why I'm stuck with certain things. I'm like, okay, at the end of the day, I don't have the energy to watch something new. That brings us pretty much to the end. So now I have two last questions where basically the first question would be something that I ask all the entrepreneurs, where I ask my guest to leave an advice or any suggestions that you want for the listeners, please.
I would say like don't trust people quickly. I think human behavior you have to study.
Yeah.
People will, you know, lie to you. They will take advantage of you, and no one will be there to teach you. No one will be there to help you. You have to do it on your own. So yeah, I guess again, I want to bring back like human behavior. You have to know how people react, how people behave, how people do things. Some are nice, some are very evil. So you have to be prepared because you're going to meet a lot of different people, and you have to, since you will be the one starting it as an entrepreneur, you will be the one to manage everything and take care of everything and also deal with things. More than anyone else, you have to be the one to deal with everything. I've been in HR. Honestly, I feel like an HR with my team. They come complaining. Sometimes I feel like I'm a principal and there's like two people fighting in front of me, and I'm like, what's going on? Come on, cut it off. Like we're all like here working together. We spend more time at work than we do with family. So I don't want any arguments. I'm like, hug it off. It's not a big deal. We're gonna resolve it. There's no issue. There's always a solution for things. So I think don't trust everybody so easily. It's that's very important. Even sometimes you would say, oh, but they're so close to me. It could be your family member, but no.
I think there should be certain boundaries. Absolutely. So the last question: what's the legacy you want AMIRÁ to leave behind?
Well, we focus on creating like artistic aspects into our prints. So I would say we want to leave like a legacy of, okay, we're creating day-to-day wear products, but it's very artistic, and we do want to enter the global market. Right now, we're just currently focusing on Bangladesh, but we want to grow our brand globally. We want to recognize that Bangladesh's garment industry and the talent behind the Bangladesh's garment industry. So we want that recognition all over the world. That's a legacy we want to leave. Yeah, like the printed aspect, the innovation, and then the fact that we want to showcase the talent of what Bangladesh has to offer, not just in terms of, we're manufacturing for such big brands, but also that we are able to create a strong brand that could work, that could be loved by people from all over the world.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming to the show and sharing this. I know we've been trying to do this for a long time now, and finally it happened.
Yes.
And I think this episode has been wonderful. I've
Thank
enjoyed
you
the
so
conversation
much.
with you.
Same here. Thank you so much for having me. It was great. Like I mentioned, I thought I'd be so nervous, but it was so natural to talk to you. It was great. Thank you so much. I feel like I want to continue. I'm like, ask me more questions.
I know, trust me. That's exactly how I feel. I feel like I need more time.
Yeah, I have more things to share with you.
Yeah, exactly. But
awesome. Thank you so much for having me. It's great. Thank you. You're doing great.
Thank you. Well, thank you so much for watching this episode, and I hope you'll watch the next one.